So let's talk about Uddiyana Bandha. What does that mean and how do we do it? Uddiyana means upward flying, Bandha referring to the lock. It's located along the third chakra, so around Manipura, solar plexus, the space along your ribs, the diaphragm, and then the abdominal wall. So there's two ways to consider the use of Uddiyana Bandha. The first is on a superficial level. We're looking at your posture within this space. Now, oftentimes the common misalignments around this area are posture that has your ribs sunken in and the shoulders kind of rounded forward. It blocks energy from entering that third chakra space. And then the opposite happens when the ribs flare out too much and the lordosis, the lower back, starts to arch. Then there's like too much exposed energy. So we want to find posture that has balanced energy within this space. You can think of the pelvis as like a pot, and then the rib cage are the lid to that pot. We want them to be right on top of one another, not spilling forward or spilling back. So a nice tall posture. You can consider this posture in your poses on your asana practice on the mat. Things like warrior two, when you are out to the side. I'm just gonna move this bolster for a sec. When you're taking a warrior two stance, you want to consider what is going on within this space. Are the ribs forward and your back is arched, or is it kind of sunken in and the shoulders are rounded forward? We want to find balance between the hips and the rib cage. So that's on a superficial level, and you can consider that posture in a variety of poses, right? And actually throughout your day as well, check in once in a while, like what's happening in this space. Once you get pretty good control over your posture and your form in the poses, then we can take Uddiyana Bandha to an entire different level. This is the flying lock because it requires energy to lift in and up the spine. So this requires the lungs to be completely empty. So after an exhale, you'll then tuck the belly muscles in and lift them upwards, and the diaphragm will lift as well. When that happens, the abdominal cavity goes rather concave. We're actually hugging the organs in the abdominal cavity in and lifting them up. Just think about what benefits that has over all the connective tissue around your organs. Super great. Along with that, being that it draws in and up, the diaphragm actually lifts the heart as well. So this uplifting energy has a ton of benefits, and I gotta tell you, it feels really cleansing as well. The best time to do Uddiyana Bandha exercises at an advanced level is first thing in the morning. You want to try this advanced version of Uddiyana Bandha on a completely empty stomach. I gotta say, from my own experience, not even 1 or 2 hours is really enough time after eating. You want to make sure that your body is on E, and you'll feel this really big draw in, a boost of energy, and it's got a really nice cleansing feeling to it. So to try this out first, I recommend starting standing, and then we'll kind of work from there. It looks like this. I'm gonna go ahead and lift my shirt up so you can see what's going on in the abdominal cavity, but we'll kind of bend over, hands on your thighs. And take a full breath in and empty out completely. The bottom of the exhale, you'll find the lock. Breathe in naturally when you need to. So that's a nice way to get it going. I find that the hands on the thighs allow that kind of like stretching, uplifting feeling to kind of get a hold of that. Once you get comfortable with the standing version, you can also add this into seated pranayama and meditation work as well. You won't need to push quite as much. You can use your hands on your thighs to get that same lift, or even on the ground in front of you, but eventually you'll be able to just sit normally in your meditative seat and be able to control that lock as well. The advanced version of Uddiyana Bandha can be utilized in asana practices as well. Some safe places to do that are in a slower type of yoga where you can spend some time in the pose, but I would try it in downward facing dog. And another great one is if you can hang out in halfway lift just a little bit longer, you'll find extra length in your spine, find that flying lock, and then you'll be ready to take your flow. But go ahead and play with Uddiyana Bandha. See if that works for you. Try it standing, try it in a seated position, and then when you are ready, you can advance Uddiyana Bandha into other asana poses.